Hello everyone. Over the past several weeks, one of the biggest news coming from the United States is about campus protests against the Gaza war. From Columbia on the east coast to the UCLA on the west, from the University of Michigan in the Midwest to Emory in deep south, many universities now look like riot zones. Many universities are requesting police to step in. The protest has, in fact, become the biggest students' movement in the United States in the 21st century. Interestingly, Columbia had to cancel its university wide graduation ceremony to avoid any further escalation. One of the major reasons behind the protests is the heavily polarized political situation in the US, which is in the middle of a presidential election cycle. Among Republicans, there is complete support for Israel, and they are vociferously opposed to student protests. Republican leaders are targeting university presidents for not doing enough to quell the protest, and they accuse mainstream universities of being sanctuaries for the radical left. They also blame university administrations for not doing enough to rein in anti Semitic tendencies. If you remember, Harvard President Claudine Gay and the University of Pennsylvania President Elizabeth Maggill were forced to resign a few months ago after fierce criticism of their institution's response to the Israel Hamas conflict. The Columbia president right now is under immense pressure to resign. Among Democrats, things are more complicated. While a large majority of the Democratic leadership is definitely pro Israel, there is a significant and influential minority which is opposed to the Gaza war and is supporting the student protest. Progressive leaders such as Pramila Jayapal, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib have expressed solidarity with the students, saying the protests are part of free speech protected by the American Constitution. But that view is not shared by centrist Democrats like Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. This division within his own party has turned into a major headache for President Joe Biden in his re election campaign. Essentially, the student protests are directed against his policies on the Gaza war. If the protests are not addressed soon, it could affect youth votes for Biden and hurt his re election prospects. While Biden led Trump by around 25 points in the 2020 elections among voters under 30, opinion polls have shown that that lead has come down to less than 10 points this time. Most of the young voters who no longer support Biden are unlikely to vote for Donald Trump, Biden's presumptive Republican rival. Most of them may, however, choose to boycott the polls, which could give Trump the edge in key battleground states. The issue could affect not just the youth vote, but also Arab American and Muslim American votes, which have always been reliably pro Democratic. If a section of those voters opt to boycott the polls, it could create a big problem for Democrats in key battlegrounds such as Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and even Georgia and Pennsylvania. The campus protests have come at a really bad time for Biden. Israel's Rafah campaign and Biden's threat to withhold weapons to Israel have further worsened the situation. Unless his administration can manage at least a temporary pause in fighting by brokering a new hostage deal between Israel and Hamas, the campus protests could render Biden a one term president.